ecstasy. 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 Hello everyone, this is Al Kabir, the analyst, and today I will be going over training camp day 9, and let's get into it. This is Al Kabir, the analyst. Jalen Hurts. We always got to start with Jalen Hurts' day. I believe he was 10 to 12, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but according to Elliott Short Parts, there was really no red zone drills. A lot of it started from the defensive side of the 20, so it was a long field, and they usually cut it off at a certain time, so it's okay. That was no touchdowns. But 10 to 12 is really good. A lot of passes to Watkins, a lot of passes to A.J. Brown, a lot of passes to Dallas Goedert. Those are Jalen Hurts' favorite targets right now until Devontae Smith come back. But Jalen Hurts had a day. He had a day, and two good back-to-back days. That's really good. Preseason game coming up soon. I wonder if we're going to see him on the field for at least a series or two. But all in all, Jalen Hurts had a really good day. I was hearing that if they had to put it, who won the offense or the defense, a lot of people said tie. The second team struggled a bit. Gardner Minshew with a couple interceptions. Didn't really see anything about the third team, but I know the second team was on the field a lot. But Jalen Hurts had a good day. Let me just say that. Jalen Hurts had a good day. And my second topic, feed QUEZ Watkins. So I'm hearing that Nick Sirianni been putting on emphasis, like, we got to put the ball in QUEZ Watkins' hands too. A lot of across the middle to QUEZ Watkins, because QUEZ Watkins is one of those dudes as dangerous as Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. QUEZ Watkins is very dangerous with the ball as well because of his speed. And me seeing QUEZ Watkins in person, he's bigger than what I expected. So it's hard to get him down too. And dude can jump. So QUEZ is very athletic, fast, could jump. He could almost do it all. But QUEZ is very under the radar because, you got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown there. And that's no knock on QUEZ. Those guys are stars. But he's definitely the third guy, the third runner-up. But you got to put the ball in his hands. Even with the limited touches he had last season, he was still able to get you 600-plus yards. I believe it was 600-plus yards. But he didn't touch the ball a lot. But when he got the ball, he was very, very dangerous. A.J. Brown, let's get into him. It's projected that, they could have been over-exaggerating. They think he's going to have about like 200 targets the way it's going. But they believe he's going to have a lot of targets. I agree. The connection I seen in person. I know I keep going back to the live practice because I'm like, man, my wife was recording all the clips. All the clips I put up with my last video, my wife was recording. I was so into the practice, so in tune. I had the stadium kind of muted out and everything. I just sat and watched. The way A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts got that connection, I'm telling you, man, A.J. could get about 10 targets a game. About 10 plus. Because the connection they got is ridiculous. It sounds crazy because during OTAs, they said their connection was off. But being though Devontae Smith been out, and what Jalen Hurts is starting to realize, let me utilize my best target. If he's your best target, put the ball in his hands. So I expect A.J. Brown to get a lot of targets too. And even going back to Jalen Hurts' day, his best throw was to A.J. Brown. Even though they was feeding QUEZ a lot this practice, but his best throw was still to A.J. Brown. The reason why I put Kayvon Wallace here, because we haven't been talking about him, but Kayvon Wallace making plays. He caught an interception against Gardner Minshew. I think Josiah Scott got one against him too, but he's definitely making plays, and this is something good to hear because you've been hearing the Marcus Epps. You've been hearing Saturday and things like that. I didn't really hear too much about Anthony Harris, but it's good to see another young guy is getting his name called, Kayvon Wallace, making plays. So it's good. Let me just say that. It's good. He's our young guy. Dawkins backed him up. He had a lot of sponsors getting him, and, it's hard for me to say disappointing. I know a lot of the other Eagles content creators say he's been disappointing or underwhelming. But I'm like, he haven't really been given the opportunities. And when he was given opportunities, I think it was twice against San Francisco. If you're going up against Kittle, it's hard to do. So to me, he just wasn't given enough opportunities. And when he was given, he got hurt. I think he forced a fumble against the 49ers that was called back on last year. He made some plays, and there was some plays he just got beat. I mean, I think he even blocked a field goal last season. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm one of the content creators that are, well, YouTubers. I don't really like to say content creators. I'm one of the YouTubers that say that just give him a chance. Give him a chance and see what happens. But Marcus Epps been playing really well. I think he's definitely a starter. Now it's at the point like who's going to play beside him. I think they leaning towards Anthony Harris, but we will see. Last but certainly not least, Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce was out, and people was wondering what's going on. Then you see the word surgery. You're like, oh man, surgery. But it's a cleaning of his elbow, so it's one of his routine surgeries. He should be ready for week 1, which is great. Just get the elbow cleaned out. He's been in the league for a couple years. He could be having problems with his elbow here and there, whereas though he need a routine surgery, but he will be good week 1. I seen somewhere said no timetable. I seen some that said week 1. I think he'll be back week 1. Knowing Kelce, should definitely be back. I didn't put this on the list, but is it time to be concerned about Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith missed 4 straight practice with a groin injury. Me personally, I would say no. I've been seeing the concerns on Twitter. I would say no. Devontae Smith, I think they just sitting him out because A, they know what type of player he is, and B, you just being more concerned with it. You don't want to make it worse than what it is. You don't want to have something lingering through the season. Just let him sit out August, the month, come back September. Devontae Smith will be fine, especially going into the same system. He will be okay. And they've been very light on these guys on practice, so I'm not surprised Nick Sirianni is like, no, you feel any little thing? He probably like, yeah, just a little something. And Nick Sirianni's like, nope, you sitting out. It's not like he's fighting for a spot or anything, so he'll be fine. But what do you think and how do you feel about camp today? Jalen Hurts Day had a wonderful day. Fee, Quez Watkins, A.J. Brown, Kayvon Wallace, Jason Kelce, and I know I just added Devontae Smith, but this is Al Kabir, the analyst. Ghost.